But when they chose to hurt you, they did that purposely over and over. How can you see things this way after an affair? They knew they were hurting you and they didn't care. Help this make sense. Okay, thank you for asking this. Yeah, affairs don't make a ton of sense. I will say that. On some level they do, but as you're healing from the affair, a lot of things and a lot of behaviors don't make sense. I think it helps if you can view it through an addiction lens. So let me explain what I mean. I think when you're trying to look at someone's behavior after, during the affair, you have a couple choices. The first is to really assume they were deep in their addiction and that they would have done or said anything to get access to their drug. And the drug was dopamine. And they felt that during the affair when the person was responding to them and paying attention to them, and it was making them feel really good. I would also assume they were not thinking about you, that they were being very, very selfish. They were under emotional stress, right? Because they were having this fantasy relationship with someone else. They were having perhaps a more real relationship with you that was pretty overwhelming. And that kind of emotional stress definitely lowers our functional IQ. And that they were fundamentally making terrible choices, a lot of them driven by getting this dopamine and avoiding pain and avoiding conflict and not having better coping skills to deal with whatever was going on with them before the affair. So, if we believe all of that, and again, those are not excuses, they're explanations. The person still made terrible choices, right? They still had behaviors that were very hurtful. So, if we believe all of that, we can kind of understand some of the choices they were making and reconciling that with their behaviors now. We did, to test this, we did a survey of over 2,000 cheating partners, and we asked them specifically about addictive behaviors, addiction, and affair fog, this idea of being in this kind of cloudy mental place while they were going through the affair and not feeling, completely themselves and not feeling like their thought processes were completely clear. And this is very much tied into what I was talking about a few minutes ago with the functional IQ. Over 70% of people endorse the idea that affairs are an addiction and also that they were deep in affair fog. So I think there's a lot of evidence to suggest that this addiction model or addiction viewpoint is true for a lot of people who are straying. If you don't think that, another thing you could possibly conclude is that this person really doesn't have a whole lot of empathy for you and doesn't really care about your feelings and doesn't mind hurting you. And if that's the case, then I would tell you that I don't think this is a very safe person for you to be in a relationship with. So if someone has cheated one or two times, I would say, okay, work on the relationship if you want, because clearly there's some very unhealthy coping strategies going on here, and this is a person who needs to do some work to be safer for you in a relationship. If this is a person who's had 3 or more affairs, either they have some kind of a sexual addiction or they have some other factors that may be contributing to this kind of acting out behavior, or they're a person who just doesn't care about your feelings and is not, is going to keep doing these kind of hurtful behaviors. So that would not be a very safe person for you to be in a relationship with. So I hope this helps and makes some sense. Let me know what you think about this and we can talk about it further.